Good evening and welcome to On the Rise. I'm your host, Mike Feinberg. With me as always, David Shore.
What's up, David? Doing good. How you doing?
Doing all right, man. We're doing without the table this time, you know?
We don't need it.
We change it up.
Yeah.
We try to keep people guessing, keep them on the toes, all that kind of stuff. So, you know, 3 big words we got to say right now. It's fight week.
Yeah.
It's fight week, everyone. We're finally here. This Saturday night, again, Extreme Action Park. It all goes down. You're going to want to attend this event for sure. We got a stack of fights. We're going to go through a lot of that today as well. You know, today we're obviously doing our show. We're going to catch up with what's going on, what fights we have, which ones might have fallen off, which ones we still have. And this Friday we'll be doing the weigh-ins from the Extreme Action Park. Saturday, of course, the live main event. If you can come out, you can still buy tickets. You've got to download that RIZE FC app. Buy your tickets there. We still have VIP tables. We still have premium seating. Whatever you're looking for, it's available right there on the app. If you can't make it out, of course, also on the app, you can download RIZE X, click on that, and go ahead and watch this thing directly through the app. Of course, you can also watch it through Roku. You can go to Apple Store, download the app itself. You can watch it through Fire Stick. You can watch it through several different means and ways. All the information you need to know are right there on all of our social media. Just follow RIZE FC on pretty much anything that you've got, and you'll find us, and you'll find much information about the fights as well.
I'd say limited seats for tables and stuff, and make sure you guys buy them soon because they're going pretty fast.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, they're here today, but maybe gone tomorrow. So for sure, you want to jump on that now. We always get the most ticket sales within a few days before the fight. So, you know, jump on it now, guys. The next time I speak about it may not be the same situation. So you definitely want to do that. We've got a little more seating this time around than last time. So, you know, last time if you weren't able to get in, this time you have the chance. But again, buy them early, you know, and get there early as well. We're going to get the exact time again of when we're having the first fight here in just a minute. We'll let you know about that in a second. Other than that, look, you know, we had, I think, as many as 18 fights, I think, stacked on the card. I think somewhere we're teetering around at 15 or 16 right now.
I think 16.
Okay, so most of the fights stuck. We're right there with it. We're going to go through a lot of that stuff, the tournament we've got going on as well, everything. We'll go through all that stuff with you here in a little while. But just before we get going on that, what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to show you a promo for the event itself coming up this Saturday night. So take a quick look at that. We'll be right back with you.
8 men walk into the cage, but only one will be victorious. Prepare to be at the edge of your seat Saturday, September 18th at the Extreme Action Park in Fort Lauderdale. Download the RIZE FC app for your mobile device and get your tickets now. This is war.
All right, we are back. There you go. That's our new promo right there for the event coming up this Saturday night. Now, we're going to jump on this because we don't want to forget by the end of the show that, you know, we did talk about this the last couple of weeks over, that we are going to be giving away some prizes. We got a pair of tickets you can win. We got gift cards you can win. What you need to do is you need to go ahead and like and subscribe to all of our social media if possible. Check out that new preview, the little promo of the event itself. You can watch that on YouTube. Look at that, share that, discuss it, comment on it, as many things as you can possibly do to make your presence known to us, to let us know that you're following us and paying attention. Gives you more opportunities and more entries into the contest to win the prizes. So do that. I will try to remind you again before the show is over. We plan on potentially calling out the winners maybe by the weigh-ins. We haven't really decided when it's going to happen, but most likely the weigh-ins themselves will let you know what we got to offer you. And this way, if you've won tickets to the event itself, well, then we can give them out to you and you can come to the event on Saturday. Anyway, that having been said, let's get into the card a little bit.
Sure.
Right? So we've got a stack of fights here, David, and it's a little bit messy because we've been writing a lot of stuff, a lot of notes here.
A lot of notes, definitely.
Before we went live.
Yeah.
But let's start off with the contest. You know, we got that the tournament going on at lightweight. So we got 8 guys that are going to be fighting.
Yeah.
They're going to be fighting to get into the semifinals.
Correct.
This time around. So this is the quarterfinals essentially. And you know, let's talk about these matchups a little bit.
Let's do it. There's 8, like you said. There's 8 men in this one tournament, so it's going to be real explosive, and they're all coming for the win the tournament. So if you want to go over which matchups you want to speak about.
Yeah, well, we got Kevin Wilkerson taking on LJ Wilson.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about those guys.
We've seen LJ a ton of times. You know, 3-0 right now. beast, you know, from ACG. So obviously he's pretty dominant every time we've seen him. So we'll see if he can run through these guys on the lightweight tournament. But all these guys, like I said, on the tournament, even debuts, have been training like, you know, Jeff or like Jack Willoughby and stuff like that. Just these guys all been training for years as a debut. So this tournament's pretty tough. It's going to show who's the best in that division.
All right, we've had Jack Willoughby and Tim Riley on the show before.
Right.
You know, they seem very friendly with one another, very energetic, all that kind of stuff. And like you said, it's a little bit different, though. You know, you got one guy with some experience, the other guy's just kind of getting his feet wet, really. But you know, how do you think they match up?
It should be good. I think Kevin actually has more fights than LJ, so you know, I think that it's going to be a good matchup to see. You know, test LJ, which is hard to do.
Okay, and what about Jack and Tim?
Yeah, Jack and Tim, both of them actually are debuts, and they both train at UFC gyms. I think Jack is now at another gym that he's been training at. I don't recall off the top of my head. But yeah, these guys have a lot of heart and a lot of posts, and as far as on social media, at least Jack does. Tim, he's kind of a gray area because he hasn't really. I don't even think he has a social media. He's more just all work, you know. Okay. And he said he's been ready to showcase his skills for a while, so it should be good.
All right, and then at obviously still going on with the lightweight tournament, you got Mihai Kulai taking on Darian Perez. Yeah,
so Darian Perez is with Goched, and those guys, you know, it's a pretty great gym. We're obviously going to have Pitbull on the scene on fight night, and I'm sure we'll hear a lot about Goched, so it should be good. And also Mihai, he's training pretty hard. It's going to be explosive.
Okay. And then you got Avihai Kaniel and Stefan Pineda.
Those are two, honestly, I didn't work with. You know, Armando handled that on the backside, so I don't have too much information on that.
So they'll be a surprise to all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? I mean, that's the thing. We got new fighters, fresh blood coming into the RIZE fighting tournament. You know, these are guys we haven't seen before. We'll definitely be able to see what they're capable of doing,
right.
As well as seeing some of these veterans come back again, like LJ, like we spoke about earlier on. And also at lightweight, outside of the tournament, we do have the lightweight title on the line. We got Jose Gallegos taking on Ronnie Levine for that belt.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, again, Ronnie, you know, has had a few fights with us as well, taking on Jose, who's new to us at RIZE, but is ranked as the #1 on Tapology right now.
Correct.
In the lightweight division here in the state of Florida. So that should be a pretty decent fight as well.
Yeah.
Okay. And in the featherweight division, we've got Israel Hernandez and Lucas Rosa. Now, this is part of the tournament that's also going to be going on, right? So you got Israel Hernandez with his rematch against Lucas, and you got Eric Lopez taking on Danny Castillo. Now, this essentially, it's just part of the tournament, right?
Yes.
For featherweight.
Correct. We're going to have 2 fights on this card and 2 fights on the next card. It's going to, and then for November, we're going to have the semifinals, and in December, we're going to have the finals for the featherweight.
Right, so there's a lot on the line here because they are moving themselves from the quarterfinals to the semifinals here.
I mean, Mike, we got 16 fights. You know, I don't want to get too much in trouble for having any more fights than that. You know, we could have tried to fill it all in one card, but you know, might as well leave some suspense for October.
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah.
With women's strawweight, we've got Ludi Alves coming back, and she's taking on Jonna Woods. I know we spoke with them a couple of times before.
I think it's Jonah.
Okay.
But yeah, she's very, very adamant about training. She might train as much as Ludi. I see her posting stuff all the time and pretty solid training work that I've looked at. So it's going to be a really good matchup.
All right. We've got, well, this is on here twice, but at welterweight, we've got Andy Hernandez taking on CJ Brandt. So Andy Hernandez coming back again. Now, we've had Andy Hernandez fight as a heavyweight. We've had him fight as a middleweight.
Yeah.
Now he's coming back as a welterweight.
Right.
Pretty soon he'll come back as a flyweight, and then he'll just, you know, come back weightless.
He's going for the 4 or 5 champ division, you know. He's going to take them all. But no, he's kind of a big dude, but he leaned out, you know, so you can tell all the work he's putting in. And, you know, every time I've been to Palm Beach Boxing, I always see him, you know, there working. You know, every social media post he ever puts, he's there with Eric and David Troach, and these guys are just, you know, they're animals in the gym just getting ready.
What can you tell us about CJ Brandt, his opponent?
He actually trains with Jose Gallegos, so obviously he's coming from a great camp with the guy that's #1 on Tapology. He has some fights behind him, so it should be really good.
Okay. At flyweight, we're working into that tournament as well, so 2 fights here, 2 fights in the next card as well. So these guys making their way in the quarterfinals here. We got Travis Horn, who you've spoken a little bit about.
Correct.
Because he's done the parkour and everything else that he does, right?
Even crazier than the parkour. You see this guy throwing kicks and doing the nuttiest stuff, you know? Like I said, he inspired me with being able to touch the hoop in basketball, I've always thought I'd be able to dunk, and it just never happened. So I'm like, you know what, maybe it's not too late if I'm able to put some work into it. So, should be interesting to see what he can do.
Travis is taking on Mohamed Saidov at flyweight.
Yeah.
So what's up with Mohamed?
It's a really new addition, truthfully. I'm not behind it, so I need to get a little more details on him.
Okay. And then we've got the return of Ryan Ocasio, who fought with us before, of course, and we've had him on the show a couple times. And he's taking on Joey Rutherford. Yeah. So what's up with Joey? He's new also?
I mean, he's not new to MMA. He has, I think, over 4 fights. He's he has over 4 wins as well. So he's an experienced, well-grounded fighter. Really exciting. It's going to be awesome to see him compete. I've been actually trying to get him on the last few cards.
Okay. We've also got a light heavyweight fight. We've got Lester Santana taking on Anthony Wise.
Yeah, these dudes look like thugs that you don't want to see in the alley, I mean, I like Santana's crazy tattoos, and you got Wise just oozing with confidence, like a McGregor of light heavyweight. So it should be a really interesting matchup. I mean, both these guys are cocky, and we might need some security at the weigh-ins.
Okay. And we've got kickboxing. We've got, our debut under the RIZE umbrella of Jordana, and I believe it's Matamoros. His last name is not written here. Mm-hmm. And she's taken on Nomi Arellano, who's obviously fought with us in the past. So kickboxing at 115. I mean, these guys, they've been working for a while. They've really been doing a lot of training.
What do you know about Jordana?
Well, I know that she's had a lot of boxing training under her, and that's kind of what she's been focused on.
Right.
Initially, she was trying to get onto our boxing card that we didn't have.
Yeah.
So since then, we've been trying to put her on as a kickboxing tournament, and we finally got her in there against Nomi, who's had some experience with us before.
Exactly.
So we'll see what we can do with those, right?
Yeah, should be
and
good.
Then we've got Alexander at Telfort versus Sean Martinez. Mm-hmm. They're coming back they're fighting at kickboxing as well. Mm-hmm. And what weight class? Do you know what they are?
I believe that he fought with, with Eric Lopez, so it should be something along there, as far as, was it 145, I believe?
Yeah, sounds like featherweight then.
Pretty positive, yeah.
All right, so they'll be coming in kickboxing as well, and, we're going to have one or possibly both those fights as the free fights, the prelude to the actual big fight card that we're going to have that night. So, again, if you hadn't seen that happen before, we have a fight or two that we give for free. You guys can take a look at it. You want to jump on and at that point purchase the fights themselves. You can go right there to RIZE X at that point, purchase the fight, and then watch the rest of them right there and enjoy the night. So again, I think we just named 14 fights right there. Got something else here, but I guess the opponent we're working on. So we've got potentially 15 fights. Yeah. Hopefully that sticks for the week, but that's a pretty stacked card.
Maybe 16 or 17, depending. You never know, honestly. Every day I get something different, so we're trying to keep it down on numbers, but the opportunity, shows up, we might take it.
All right, and then I was told during the break that 5:30 doors will open, 6 o'clock is our first fight. So we will be going a little earlier tonight than the last few fights, simply because we have such a stacked card.
Right.
And again, it's going to be at Extreme Action Park, right out there in Fort Lauderdale on Powerline Road. If you haven't been out there, it's a decent venue. We've got a lot of space. Again, we're going to have a little bit more space this time around than last time. You want to get those tickets, you have to download that app to purchase. Come out. If you can't come out, just, jump online and check it out through one of the several ways I mentioned earlier on. Mm-hmm. So what else can you tell us about the fight card? I know it's been hard work trying to get it together.
I might take off work Friday just to take a nap to get nice and rested for Saturday, truthfully, because it's going to be a long night, A lot of work's been put into this, and everyone, training over and over again, all these fighters, just if the amount of hours combined training for just these matchups is just amazing to think about, and these guys are all trying to be the best, and we want nothing but the best, so.
Right. Yeah, well, we're looking forward to them. We're wishing everybody the best of luck in their respective fights. I know they're going to bring some action. A lot of the guys we have returning, guys and girls we have returning, I mean, they've brought a lot of action the last couple of fight cards, so, there's no doubt they're going to bring it back again. No question, I'll put money on the table to say that we're going to see some stoppages, we're going to see some knockouts, we're going to see some submissions, and we're going to see some decisions. We're going to see a plethora of all these different things. You have enough fights to choose from. So, how it's going to end up that way, how many, one way or the other, that's a mystery.
Right.
But if you're looking for action, you like all different kinds of outcomes, you're going to see that on Saturday night for sure.
It's like the promo says, "This is war."
That's right.
Yeah.
Just like that, too.
Yeah, just like that. So I'm excited. I can't wait. As as a mixed martial arts fan, you know, how can you beat it? Truthfully, local fights, not too far away, and it's going to be a great event.
Yeah, and as we've said before, you know, we have it there at Extreme Action Park in Fort Lauderdale. It's just, you know, it's one venue that we've been working with for a while because it's very centrally located. You know, anybody coming from South Miami, anybody coming from, you know, even North Palm Beach, they kind of meet right there in the middle there, and it's not, you know, it's not extremely far for anybody. How many times I talked about having to go all the way down to South Miami for a destination fight, driving over an hour. It's kind of irritating.
Right.
It's like, who you reaching out to?
Yeah.
You know, you got everybody driving all the way, and there's nobody else to come from up south. So this is more centrally located. It's definitely a great venue. And again, it's at Extreme Action Park, which has a lot of other things going on besides the fight that night. So if you've got kids and you want to bring them out, there's go-karts, there's laser tag, there's an escape room, there's obstacle courses that they can climb around on, arcade games, pretty much everything, as well as the concession stands, everything that's going on there. So there'll be sports on, of course, that night, as you all know. They've got big screen TVs back over there by the concession area. There's a lot of things that you can actually do there. So I would say if you're going to come out, especially if you're going to come from a distance, you know, come early. You know, check out some of the things that Extreme Action Park has to offer even before the fights start. And of course, you want to get there early so you get your seats and you're comfortable as well. You know, doors open at 5:30 for us, but Extreme Action Park is going to be open all day.
Right.
So you can actually go into the main area and do whatever you'd want to do and be inside. So check that out. Come out if you can. Otherwise, jump online and check that out. What we're going to do real quick is take a quick break for our sponsor, DV8. And on the flip side of that, we'll kind of wrap this up, talk a little bit of other sports, and then we'll get out of here. We'll talk to you soon.
This is Kerry from DV8 Motorsports. I want to welcome you to our world and give you a little insight into what we do. From the lift kits, lowering kits, custom wheels and tires, gas, diesel performance, and accessories. We do it all here in-house. All of our services we offer, we install everything. Come follow us on social media, Facebook or Instagram, DV8_motorsports. Take a look at what we do, what we have to offer. We're located at 1018 North Federal Highway in Lake Park, US 1, just south of North Lake Boulevard, or you can give us a call, 561-840-2023, or shoot us an email, dv8motorsports@yahoo.com. Thanks.
And we are back. Hopefully you got a chance to take a quick look at that promo from DV8, one of our sponsors. It's been our sponsor for a while now, so we do thank DV8 for everything that they've done for us. And earlier on in the show, you got a chance to take a quick look at that promo. Look, you keep jumping on our social media, you'll see more of that promo. Talks all about the fight that's coming up. And really any of our social media is talking about that. You'll see Armando's beautiful face on a couple of promos as well. He's done a couple of clips. And you'll see everything you need to know really about, you know, what we've got going on. As you know, David's got a site on Facebook.
Right.
And you can jump on there about if you want to register to be a fighter on one of the future cards. Again, obviously this card Saturday's booked. The next card next month, October, is already booked. You're working on November. You're probably halfway done with that one already.
I'm getting there.
So, you know, if you want to jump in, you got to jump in now. Otherwise, you're going to be sometime next year at this point, if we can get you approved. So, you know, do that just as soon as you can do that. But you can find more information out about the fighters that are fighting. You can also register to be a cage girl. We are changing it up a little here and there. Some of the girls just aren't available during certain dates, and, you know, so we always have to find alternates. So if you're interested in coming out and doing that, you can register to do that as well. And that's our fight card. Again, 15 plus fights, if not more, for that night. Doors open at 5:30, first fight at 6. You don't want to miss this, guys. It's going to be a banger. Come check it out. Now, what we want to do is just kind of turn it to sports just for a few minutes, other sports. You know, we got to start off, of course, by talking about that Triller event that happened this past Saturday night. I was in attendance, and I got a chance to see some of the action that went on.
And Tito got laid out, huh?
He did.
Wow.
I mean, it wasn't exactly a fair punch.
Yeah.
You know, Anderson kind of hit him in the back of the head or when his body was turned around, but you know what? You're supposed to protect yourself at all times.
Yeah.
And Tito shouldn't have turned his body quite the way that he did, but yeah, Tito Ortiz got knocked out cold, guys, by Anderson Silva. If you haven't seen that, check that clip out because it is worth watching. Beyond that, Evander Holyfield, who I'd seen 48 hours before the fight, who looked like he needed a nap, pretty much was given one that night. I mean, he was knocked down a couple times. He wasn't well balanced. He wasn't ready for that. You know, at 59 years old, almost 59 years old now, he really shouldn't have been in there.
How did it end? I missed that one.
Yeah, so Belfort, if anybody didn't catch that, Vitor Belfort fought Evander Holyfield this past Saturday night. Belfort dropped Holyfield twice, one with a great uppercut. Holyfield had nothing on those punches when he even threw anything. Vitor, of course, has been training. He's completely in shape and he's ready to go. Even at 44 years old, I think is how old he is now. And he just looked very dominant in his performance. After he dropped Holyfield a couple times, it didn't go much longer before the ref said that I've seen enough. It's ridiculous. We're not going to keep this up. So that was the end of that. And we don't know if we'll ever see Holyfield anywhere again. But we hope we'll see him at some point, maybe as a spectator. But Belfort's going to move on, and if you hadn't caught that, because they said this to us live at the event, the people at Triller have offered Belfort, Jake Paul, your boy, $30 million winner-take-all.
Damn.
So will Jake Paul take that offer? I don't know, because he's not going to beat him. But the idea is that preparing for a fight like that, getting paid millions of dollars in sponsorship money in preparation for a fight like that is probably worth his time, even taking the
Jake
loss.
Paul's not going to beat who?
He's not going to beat Vitor Belfort.
I mean, they got to drug test Vitor before I trust anything. 'Cause he's notoriously known for juicing, but I'd put my money on Jake if the odds are right.
You think?
Yeah.
All right. Well, $30 million is his if he thinks what you think. He's just
Do
gotta
it,
believe in
Jake.
himself.
Yeah, I believe in him. Let's make it happen.
So we'll see. That could be the next big Triller fight that's coming up. At some point soon. In addition to the one they got tonight, which isn't as big of a deal.
What's tonight?
Triller, they just got another fight card at the same place, Hard Rock Hotel and Casino down there in Hollywood. Yuneski Gonzalez is on the card. Bryce Henry's on the card. A couple local fighters as well. Not really huge name guys that you probably would know.
Yeah.
Because I barely know them, so you're not going to know them.
Yeah.
But 5 fights on the card, a 4-rounder, 4 10-rounders, and it's already underway. I just got a text, so I'm missing it. But that's what's going on there. Outside of that, UFC land, you been paying attention to what's going on?
I've been more in fantasy football land, and I'm pretty dominant. I'm calling myself like all kinds of fantasy football god names and stuff like that. I'm on fire. I'm not gonna lie. It was a good Sunday. I can't complain. So Hurts, Eagles quarterback, looked like a stud, like I was expecting. It's a lot of dominance, I'm thinking about having a sideshow just discussing fantasy football, where to go, because I have some great advice and I impress myself.
Good stuff.
Yeah. So happy. Kelsey came through for me. I feel bad. I don't even know why my friends are still in my fantasy football league as me being the commissioner, because I've been laying it to them every single time, and it's not even fun anymore. It's like when you see a dog that's just not happy, and it just doesn't want to come, and I just show up again and try to make him do some tricks, it's kind of like that, it's super dominant.
What about your Dolphins? It looks like they pulled the win.
Barely, man. You know what? How much are they going to pay me to be on Tua's salary? I mean, I will literally sign up. I don't know. I just feel like the Patriots did a bad move by getting rid of Cam Newton, because Cam Newton would have ran in some touchdowns that Mac Jones didn't look as efficient with. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's new. It's a new everything for him. But Cam Newton's a beast, and he's 6'5", tank.
Yep.
I wouldn't have got rid of him. I don't think it was a smart decision. But that's Bill Belichick. He just makes things happen, and maybe he'll pay down the road. But I don't know. I was excited when Prescott was about to. What was his name? Was it Brissett? I was excited when Brissett was about to play for a moment. I thought maybe something will spark, but hopefully we get rid of they get rid of Deshaun Watson, and we pick him up. But I don't know. I wasn't super impressed. More or less, was impressed with our defense. Our defense came through in the clutch, got two fumbles. Thank God for our defense.
There you go.
I'm expecting 10 to 12 point games. The defense is gonna have to show up and score some touchdowns.
I gotcha. We'll see how that goes. And I can tell you, my Gators are 2-0. You got another big win, but now they're playing Alabama this Saturday, so I don't know what's gonna happen this Saturday.
You never know, man.
It may not be pretty, but they're gonna try.
Yeah.
They got a good quarterback. Everything's all over the news now with the 2 quarterback system.
Wow.
They got 2 quarterbacks. They got a quarterback, competition going on right now based upon this freshman, Anthony Richardson. Who knows? Who knows? This guy might be the next big thing.
Maybe.
They got to start somewhere, right?
I like 2 quarterback systems, honestly. Taysom Hill and Breeze. It's just good to have it. It keeps the one guy fresh. Just like running backs. Running backs eventually get hurt if you start every time.
Yep. This guy Richardson, man, he gets the ball in his hand. Every time it's a big play. He was 2 for 2 for 2 touchdowns.
Couldn't believe Green Bay got shut down so bad. That was pretty wild.
That was nasty. Yeah, I mean, and they, a lot of the experts were talking about the fact that, a lot of these starting quarterbacks just didn't get any play time in the preseason at all.
Yeah.
So this was their warm-up. This was their warm-up game, just kind of getting it going and kind of putting the system back together. A lot of new players they haven't even played with before, so they haven't taken snaps with half the team sometimes.
Yeah.
So it's going to take some time, I think, to kind of get into the season because of the way that they're doing it now. Now it's an extended season, it's 17 games, so you got to see how what happens after week 3 or 4.
Derrick Henry did absolutely nothing. A lot of players definitely underperformed, except for people on my fantasy football.
And I would jump just to boxing real quick because I know how much you love that. So there's a fight that they just announced yesterday, okay, that you need to watch this one, David, all right?
Yeah.
And if you really aren't boxing fans, you got to check this one out because you might become one. So Terrence Crawford, who a lot of people are calling the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world right now, the WBO welterweight champ, is taking on Sean Porter, the 2-time welterweight champ, who's one of my favorite active fighters right now of all time. They are taking each other on, and their styles are so different that it makes sense. You got an outside fighter who's very, very quick, great with angles, and you got a pressure fighter who's going to get inside and try to rough you up. I think that Porter actually beat Keith Thurman. Some people agreed with me, but he didn't get the decision. It looked like he was winning the fight when he was fighting Spence. Spence knocked him down late in the fight. It was a 3-point swing, and it changed everything. So you got 2 great welterweights taking each other on November 20th in Vegas. That's a fight to watch if you want to watch some action.
You're going to have to remind me.
I'll have to remind you.
Yeah.
But next Saturday, you got the heavyweight championship on the line, 3 of the belts, and Anthony Joshua taking on Alexander Usyk. That's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then on October 9th, you've got Tyson Fury taking on Deontay Wilder for the other belt. So the winners there may meet each other, and at some point in the next 6 months, we may actually see an undisputed heavyweight champ. Hasn't been done in a really long time. So that's the world of boxing.
Nice.
A couple of good things going on right there. So it's kind of getting warmed back up again. And then, other than that, guys, we talked about our fight card obviously earlier, and something we said earlier in the show as well was we want to give you guys some prizes. We've been talking about it for a couple weeks, kind of teasing you on that, but we're finally ready to give those prizes out. What you need to do again is you got to jump on our social media, like, subscribe, comment, pretty much anything that you can do to make sure that you make your presence known to us, to let us know you're out there. Share it with everybody. And once we see that you're very active on there, we're going to find you. And we'll pick out a couple of winners. Again, pair of tickets to the fights. We can get you gift cards as well. And the amount of prizes we give out is going to be based upon, how much activity we see out there and what we think we can give out. So just by Friday, the latest, you should be able to hear that you've won if you've won. So somebody out there is going to win some prizes, guys. Why not let it be you? And that's what we got going on. Again, download RIZE FC if you have not downloaded the app right there. Click on RIZE X to see all the content. You can watch the fight that night if not coming out live. Otherwise, we'll see you at the fight Saturday night in Fort Lauderdale at Extreme Action Park on Powerline Road. Doors open at 5:30. First fight at 6. David, we're finally ready.
I'm excited.
Fight week. Weigh-ins are coming out to you on Friday. We'll see you guys in the afternoon for the weigh-ins. We'll see you at the fights on Saturday. On behalf of Armando Gonzalez, Gerardo Ramos, David Shore, I'm Mike Feinberg. Have a great night, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll see you at the fights.
8 men walk into the cage, but only one will be victorious. Prepare to be at the edge of your seat Saturday, September 18th at the Extreme Action Park in Fort Lauderdale. Download the RIZE FC app for your mobile device and get your tickets now. This is war.